Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Ford ECM computer. This is a 2010 Ford Mustang. The customer concern is no AC relay, or it's actually intermittent auto sensor, intermittent installing of the vehicle, and that is a very common situation on these computers. It's a Ford Mustang 4.0 liters, and this is from Brandon from Texas. All right, so as usual, you will see me doing reproducing the concern. But first, let me show you the computer connected. He sent few pages with the fault codes and his notes, and I have everything in here. I obviously going to cover, so because it's his personal information in there. You see I cover his phone and address as well on the computer, but I have the pictures ready that I have done for him, where I have removed also that information. So let me show it to you. This is for him and for all of you, seeing that it's the same computer connected in here. The tier tag on this one is UUH1. That is the full codes. As you can see, you know, P0645, auto sensors lean, the P1464. Very, very common situation on this vehicle. This is the notes. This is the repair form that I request always to be sent, and please sign it. He forgot to sign this one, but I have already another note that he signed. And this is his symptoms: intermittent AC on and off, EGR codes, O2 codes, intermittent installing and idle. Can tap the ACM and the AC will go on and off, which is, and you have seen that happening on other videos that I have. This is a sticker from the computer. And that is exactly the computer that we have here. All right, so I'm going to connect to the scanner, and I have the Phoenix Max ready to go. Let me power it up. I always reproduce the concerns on the customer, so there's no doubt that we will be able to fix it, and then it will be good to go. I have 100% success rate repairing these computers. So if you have any of these computers and you have problems like that, or any other computers, automotive or marine, this is the best place you can send your computers for repairs. Not only I show the concern being reproduced, and also I will show you your computer fully operational after the repairs. Nobody else does that because they don't really know and not even what they're doing. But yeah, if you're here also and you can subscribe to the channel, that really will help my small business a lot. Every time you subscribe, YouTube promotes my videos more and more, and that's how you find me as well. It's for free, so thank you so much if you do so. All right, so let's jump into the test. All right, so it looks like everything is powered up. So let me do an auto scan. I should read the VIN number of the vehicle, which is, the last digits are 160628. I like that sound. Click on 160628. That is exactly the VIN number. Perfect. So we're going to go into, let me just actually move into the screen so I don't have to be that far away. We're going to click in quick access. I'm using the top-down Phoenix Max, and this is the best tool to do the test that I'm doing because no other scanner has it. So usually when you go into other scanners, they're going to give you output controls, but they don't switch for some reason the AC relay. And I tried with the Snap-on and they'll tell neither one of those work. All right, so we got this in here. We're going to enter the PCM. Just wait for the scanner to connect. All right, we're going to go into actuation test. And in there, we're going to go into output test. The Snap-on doesn't even have that part. So output test mode. Click OK. That's just a warning that injectors and fans are not going to be activated. No, we don't need that. All right, so in here, I'm going to add a data stream. So we can see the AC clutch being commanded on or not, right? So AC, air conditioner pressure. Let me just look for it. Air conditioning clutch. All right, that's all we need to do. And I have a test light here. So this should light up when I turn and command it, this on and off. So let's command it on. It says not even available. Air conditioning clutch, not available. Let me cancel. Let me read that stream to make sure I selected the correct one. AC. Maybe relay. Set more relay now. I'm pretty sure it was that one. Air conditioning clutch. Let me put air conditioning to see what it shows up. So in here we should have all the stuff that is for the air conditioning. Pressure switch, voltage, wide open throttle. No, yep, that is the one. Actually not supported. Make sure I didn't lose communication. Let's go into data stream. And then just select battery voltage. Sorry guys. Battery positive voltage. Not available. Yeah, you see? Something happened. Phoenix mask has to stop working. That is no good. So let's re-establish communication and see if we have another problem in here. And hence, let's see if we can still have communication or not. Look like it's drawing a healthy amperage. No communication. Yeah, so we're losing the communication with the computer. So this is not the common situation. This is something else. I'm glad that we were able to see that. And that's the reason I record videos. Because this is not just an air conditioning not working. This is a computer that has a major problem. Right now we have no communication. Before I call the computer bad, and we have a scanner bad, because a tool can fail anytime, right? So I'm going to turn this off completely. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to turn the computer back on. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to connect my multimeter to the firewall reference. I will have to get the longer leads. Give me 1 second, guys. Going to be using my bench multimeter for this. So I'm going to connect the ground on the sensor ground and the firewall reference to see what we see. So let me get the meter in the screen as well. If we lose the firewall reference, right? Perfect. Let me get that in the screen. Right, so we got the meter now there too as well. The computer is off, so let me turn it back on. That is now in the way. So before I do that, I want to move that meter so it's not covering my action, so you guys can see that I'm actually doing it. And let me move the camera a little higher. Yeah, like that I don't have to move the meter. Now I move the camera and everything is now in focus. Like that you will see when I turn the computer on. We got 5-volt reference, so let's see if we can establish the communication one more time. Because if he now talks, this might be something else happening on the computer. It looks like the team viewer stopped working. So I'm going to remove that so you can see that in the background, the actual scanner moving. Yeah, I read it. So you see a lost communication. Now let's do the same thing we did before. Let me see if I can read that on the. Yeah, it looks like it's actually back working. All right, we're going to click OK. And let's keep an eye on that fiber reference and see if we lose the fiber reference when it loses the communication as well. All right, let's enter again the computer. Actuation test. It could potentially be that the IC in charge of the AC in orders, right? When it's getting activated, it's shorting and then it's taking that down. But we'll see when we do the activation this time. And I don't really need to add any data stream. That is just for us to see if it's being commanded or not. So all right, command it on. And now it says on. You see it said on for a second. And look at the fiber reference. See, it said on for 1 second and now it says not available. And it says that it's on, but it's not available. So this could potentially be the problem. Action not supported. And look at the fiber reference now all over the place. 4.8, 4.9. And you saw how steady that was. So let's go back and try to read data streams now. You can see how now that is it. Yep, we lost the communication again. Phoenix Max has stopped working. And this is also very weird because it's like, I mean, the Phoenix Max is not really connected directly to the computer. I don't see a major problem in there. So let me connect another scanner. All right, let's wait for the Max 6 to turn on. I'm starting the team viewer so I can, connect. The Maxi 6 works really well. You just got to change it over to now the Phoenix, and I put the Ultra. And that we got the correct screen for you guys. All right, so let's get into diagnosis. We need to turn the computer on. See, when I first turn it on, the fiber reference is there, perfect, 5.0010. So that is a perfect 5 volts. So let's do an auto ID. It has not connected to the BCM yet. Going too quick. All right, now reading. Didn't see the VIN number. No, I did. Okay, that is the correct VIN number. Everything is correct. See, so far the fiber references is saying nice, and that is a hint. That's what I like to always connect and gather data because it's very important, right? So we're going to enter the computer. And if I remember properly, I cannot do the output test as is in the tab done. And I have never had a problem with that one, but it's kind of weird that it's kicking the Autel out, like a loss of communication with the BCI or something like that. But we'll see. All right, let's see what we can have done in here. It has output test mode. Let's see the next one. All right, so there is nothing for air conditioning in here. So we're going to go into output test mode, bottom left corner of those. Press cancel to monitor like if monitor. No, we're going to click OK because we want the AC clutch to see if it's being commanded or not, right? Can you do a search? Air conditioning clutch. Okay. And look at so far, until I start doing that test, the fiber reference is nice and steady. Nothing is wrong with that. All right, so let's do the test. Look at the voltage. It's doing exactly the same thing they did with the tab done. When I activated that, it went into 4.9 something. So we're gonna click it off. The voltage didn't change. You see, it's now 4.92. Like something is drawing a lot of amperage, and it's drawing the voltage down on the computer. You see, test aborted. So let's go into live data. Cycle the ignition off and run, ensure the cables are connected. You see, a lost communication. Now this is telling me we're no longer connected to the computer. You see, cycle the ignition. I cannot communicate with the computer. And all I need to do is cycle the ignition on and off. See, the 5 volt reference went off because I turned the ignition off. I turned it back on. And now we got the 5 volt reference again, completely normal. We're going to click OK. And I bet you now we can talk. Yes, sir. All right, so this is definitely, it might still be the same issue. So the IC, the controls, the AC clutch, and other outputs, and it's only not one, it's multiple components that I have all stuck. It's probably causing this issue, and this obviously will create stall. Think about it, you're in your vehicle driving and everything is going good, and then boom, then it's the problem, right? So that is exactly what we might have in here. All right, guys. So let me open the computer and I'll be right back. Hey, guys, just to give you an update, and Brandon too. As you see, I've actually using my small heat plate or hot plate and see how it works, because I'm actually very happy because this frame that I bought from JBC it has high adjustment. So I removed the frame that was on the Haco, and I'm actually using it with this setup because I like this because I can move my hands without touching the computer that is now very hot and working here without really burning myself. So this is actually working really good because sometimes I don't need to use the big one. This is a smaller footprint area, less heat that I need to use, and protect the other very expensive tool for more intricate repairs. So like I said, when I buy a tool, I'm going to use it 100%. And use it to its maximum potential, but I'm also going to protect my tools so they can last for a very long time. But yeah, this is actually really good. All right, guys, let me proceed, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, yeah, it looks like this is not going to have a very good ending for the vehicle. So I have actually connected already prior to start the video again, and I already finished the repairs, normal repairs on this side of the board. And the reason I do this side only is these modules are pretty hard glued to the bottom of this case. And there is an 80% chance to destroy the board because of the flex that you have to do in order to get it out of there. And I usually don't do that. If I cannot repair this side of the board, I deem the module not repairable. And it seems like it's having the same thing. So as you can see, I was trying to establish communication, and it shows this, the same thing. So I'm going to turn the ignition back on. The 5-volt reference change now is in 4.9993. That could be, connections in here, but that is with the computer connected and talking. Let me just reestablish communication. And we're going to see that I can actually connect again like it was doing before. See, now I have values, a pressure sensor, everything is reading. When I go into active tests and I try to perform the same tests, output test mode, and then I'm just going to click and cancel because that is only to show you that is being commanded on, but we can see it in there. As soon as I turn that, keep an eye on the voltage, and it goes on, and then, well, it's not really showing anything else this time, but you can see how the voltage is now decreasing. I'm going to turn off, and more likely, yeah, you see test aborted, not supported. And it's nothing that is not supported, it's doing the same thing. So if I go now and exit here, and I try to establish communication with like the live data, the computer is no longer talking. You see cycle the ignition from off to run, ensure that all cables are connected. As soon as I cycle the ignition, now we can get the 4.9993, and if I click OK, now the computer will talk. So something is definitely shorting out, and it's got to be a signal from one of those IC for the AC, which is what we're commanding now, or any output, because right now there's the output that is not just only doing the air conditioning, it's doing all the outputs except for the fan and the injectors. But yeah, when that one is being commanded, something is shorting out and it's taking the computer down. So I'm going to try one more thing just for the last try, and otherwise I will have to condemn this computer as not repairable. So let me try to do that, and I'll be right back, guys. Well, guys, sadly, yeah, it is going to be a non-repairable computer. I tried everything I could. I even replaced one more component, which I thought it was really not the case, but I'm trying always to help the customer because obviously computers are expensive. But yep, it's the same result still. Every time I try to, right now I cycle the ignition off and on, and every time I do the output control test, so I'm going to just click cancels and just run the test, but you can see the voltage going down. And as soon as that happens, when I click on off, it says test not aborted, not supported, and that is just because something is immediately happening on the computer. And when that happens, we'll lose communication, you see, immediately. So something is, I replaced even the voltage regulator, just trying to see if it was a short in there, but no, it's not, because it's only when you do the output test. So something on the other side of the board is definitely compromised, probably from either an O2 sensor or something like that, a heavy output that has damaged that. I even went over the wire diagrams just to make sure that I was actually doing this correctly. Let me take you there. Let me take the Phoenix and the meter out. No matter what, we don't need those, right? Not the Phoenix, right? So I have the Ultra. And let me take you here. So I'm in the wire diagrams. Let me get my circle off too. Okay, this is the AC clutch relay. Following this wire here, it goes over to pin 14 on connector 175B, which is exactly the one I am right now in the middle of the computer. And I'm going to show you that, even the number right there. The other side of the relay, which is the one I was looking to see if it was like, maybe it's a 4.0 different and it has a positive activation. But if we follow this wire, which the other side of the control side of the relay, we can see that that is coming from a fuse, and it says hat with power, PCM power relay energized. And obviously we don't need that because I'm providing the power directly from my connections. So yeah, that is what we have here. And this is when computer is nothing else I can do it, right? So I've tried already probably 2.5 hours trying, and this is where the diagnostic fee is not enough. But yeah, if I were able to repair it, then I have the repair fee, and that is in this case not. Then I take the loss, but it is part of what it is, right? So it's nothing I can do. So I'm going to have to contact him and let him know that his computer is deemed not repairable. I cannot not repair it, and see if I find one for him, and or if he wants to do it himself. All right, guys. Thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.